I'm not even gonna be subtle with this. Toph's victory was not a result of poor research. Oh yes, come at me with your invisible pitchforks and torches. What ScrewAttack said about this in their Death Battle livestream was completely right. I'm not gonna explain what they said in the livestream, I'll just show the clip where they said it afterwards after I'm done talking, so stay tuned for that. But there was one defense that people are trying to make for Gaara that I wanted to address. And this is probably actually the most common one you see. And that defense is, Gaara would have won if he played offense instead of defense the entire time. And my response to that is, you're right. You are most absolutely right. But how many times have you actually seen Gaara fight offensively? Almost never. I'm not denying that he could most certainly defeat Toph if he fought offensively, but then it wouldn't be Gaara fighting Toph. It would be some guy with Gaara's powers fighting Toph because you completely disregard his fighting style and personality. You cannot strip a character's personality away from them for the sake of a death battle. Let's take Goku versus Superman for example, when the Kryptonite was near Superman and basically, killing him. Goku could have won that battle by walking away and letting Superman die, but he wouldn't because he was Goku. If he let Superman die, he wouldn't be Goku because that's not what Goku does. It's not what Goku's about. The same goes for Gaara versus Toph. Gaara could have rushed her, but that's not how he fights. He usually remains stationary and lets all the sand do the work. The way his character was written was basically asking for him to get beat by Toph. ScrewAttack is not biased. They just look at everything beyond the powers. They know everything about these characters from their research. And I know they're not an all-powerful, all-knowing brain, but they are the closest you're ever going to get to the right answer. Now with that said, let's see what ScrewAttack has to say about this.
First of all, you don't understand. When got a Toph, when Ben and I were talking, and he's like, "I'm pretty sure Toph's gonna win." I literally just went, just because we really don't.
We've had anime characters win. Epion and Vegeta won.
Epion versus Vegeta, but this version doesn't. But when it's first Western, then we're clearly biased. It's not. I mean, Vegeta won against Shadow.
That was
Shadow
versus
kind of.
People are always gonna assume things because they don't.
That's the biggest thing. Is the reason that our show is different from other who would win shows and that type of stuff on the internet is that we do stupid amounts of soul crushing research to determine this stuff, and if we were to be biased or to skew that, it completely defeats the purpose of our show. So we don't want to do that. And I understand it sucks to see your favorite character get killed, but we really do research this stuff to the best of our abilities, talk about this, argue about it forever, have a research team go through this stuff, and then we, really try and come up with a logical way. I've had so many of my favorite characters die.
Imagine how it feels to animate that.
Yeah.
FYI, I want a Deathstroke to win.
Oh yeah.
So
right?
I'm sitting there on my computer oh no, no, his head. Oh no, come on, man. That's why he looks so much cooler in his animations than Deathstroke.
But at the end of the day, since ScrewAttack, and especially since Death Battle started, ScrewAttack has been accused of loving Nintendo, hating Nintendo, loving Sony, hating Sony. So, pick it, we've loved it and we've hated it all at one time.
One of my favorite things ever was forever, ScrewAttack was labeled as Nintendo fanboys, super hardcore, right? Because a lot of old video game vaults and top 10s and stuff, we do a lot of Nintendo-based stuff. So we were so hardcore labeled as Nintendo fanboys. And then we put out Mario vs. Sonic Death Battle. And I even put up a tweet, and I felt bad because I did it a day after, so I think I spoiled it for some people, but I was how many, it was the Tootsie Pop question, I was how many videos does it take to make, to go from being Nintendo fanboys to Sega? The answer is 1, and put a link, and then everyone's ScrewAttack, such Sega fanboys, God, you guys are such Sega fanboys, that's why you had Sonic win.
And it's just comments.
Yeah. So I guess the best way to answer that is you shrug it off and you say, we're not, and there's nothing you can say is that we're just not. The reason Death Battle works is because it's based off of research and fact, and we're sorry that you love that character, and we're sorry that you've watched all the episodes in season 5. But
I hate Superman.
We've watched
I do.
everything.
I think he's a stupid character. I Goku's way cooler, right?
It gets to a point to where, if you do all this research, right? So I originally watched Death Battle. Not for the animation, obviously.
Wow! I love this!
Put it on! Dump it on!
This is his second
shit right on!
Help bars! No,
this is his second day, and he's already just bashed.
I watched it for the research, and once the research was gone, I was actually, hey, subscribe I'm gonna move on.
All
But
right. Thanks,
yeah,
man.
it's the research. You know, I mean, like, okay, so just really quickly, you know, any comic book character, just for example, will beat any character because in some comic book some year ago under some guy's desk and some rapper, there's a form of him that can overcome anything that you throw at him, and that's kind of not
It just
fair.
it just depends.
Yeah, it always depends.
You know,
but when it comes down to it, like, I think that's one of the best draws of Death Battle is the fact that your character might not survive. You don't know.
Right.
So you got to click on it to find out.
It won't be a popularity contest ever. And that's the other thing, too, that I want to address, and I know we got to get wrapping past that, but, like, the people will just be like, oh, you picked this character to win because they're more popular. Like, oh, you just did this to piss off somebody. Like, again, that completely defeats the purpose of our show. We're not a popularity contest. There's so many of those.
If we chose characters based on their popularity, Dig Dug never would have fought.
Bucky O'Hare! Bucky O'Hare never would have fought.
Bucky O'Hare!
would have never.
I fought for that one for so long.
Well, we both really wanted to do that. And we were just like, I don't know.
Well, we got one more question, and then we're going to wrap it up. Once again, using the hashtag Death Battle Live. Still trending, by the way. Thank you guys. That's amazing.